I am the fury of the blizzard, the bite of the wind, and the cold of the ice. I am the Freljord. ANIVIA is a benevolent winged spirit who endures endless cycles of death and life and rebirth. To protect the Freljord, a demigod born of unforgiving ice and bitter winds, she wields those elemental powers to thwart any who dare to disturb her homeland. ANIVIA guides and protects the tribes of the harsh north, who revere as a symbol of hope and a potent of great change. She fights with every ounce of her being, knowing that through her sacrifice, her memory will endure and she will be reborn into a new tomorrow. ANIVIA is an ancient Freljordian demigod who represent the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth, intrinsically associated with the changing seasons. To those who venerate her, she is the elemental sword of the Freljord, a symbol of hope and a sacred catalyst of change. Stories passed down through the ages often tell of how she rewards those who are kind and humble. On the rare occasion a mortal glimpses her, or at least claims to. She is described as a noble spirit bird of ice, with glittering wings that span the heavens, and a piercing cry that can be heard over even the fiercest storm. The songs of the nomadic Nutai tribe tells how ANIVIA's birth first brought snow into the world. When she burst from her giant egg of ice, tiny pieces of it were hurled into the sky, and it has fallen as snow ever since. And according to the sagas of the Murnukro tribe, the frigid winds that scour the Freljord originate from the first beats of her wings. Indeed, the full power of winter is ANIVIA's to command, and to those who seek to desecrate her homeland, she is a bitter foe. When roused to anger, she can cleave fortresses and mountains, and her screech can summon blizzards cold enough to shatter steel. One of the most enduring and respected beliefs is that ANIVIA's greatest gift to the Freljord was the creation of true ice, infused with elemental magic. This unmelting substance is pure and potent, and the greatest seers and ice mages have long strived to use shards of true ice to amplify their might. while weapons that have even a tiny silver forged into them are deadly beyond belief. When mortals first arrived in the Freljord, ANIVIA welcomed them, seeing that they could not withstand the cold. She guided them to scalded valleys where they could shelter, become established, and slowly hardened themselves against the elements. She nurtured and watched over them for those first precarious centuries, and they, in turn, worshipped her. ANIVIA hoped that these newly arrived tribes would remain unified in defending the Freljord from outsiders, but slowly infighting and blood feuds became all too common, making an invasion inevitable. According to legend, a greedy southern king marched his warriors up through the mountains, seeking to claim dominion over the Northlands, and shackle their wild magic for himself. So enraged was ANIVIA at the outsiders' hubris and disrespect that she blasted them with snowstorm that lasted a century and a day. Scattered standing stones can still be seen on the scoring plane, which the locals claim are all that remains of the ancient army. Other includes the ever-ozen legend of Ola Shatterspear, an ice-born war mother who was favored by ANIVIA for saving a young hawk from a rim-fang wolf. Across her lifetime, the CRYOPHOENIX protected Ula from harm, and when she finally fell in battle, having witnessed almost 100 winters, it is said that ANIVIA welcomed her with wings spread wide. If all these legends are true, then ANIVIA must have witnessed the rise and fall of countless mortal civilizations, while there are still some dwindling remnants of those earlier times. Most have long been forgotten and buried beneath millennia of ice. But death cannot touch ANIVIA herself. The sagas speak of how she has been struck down and slain a handful of times throughout history, though she is always reborn for as long as hundreds or even thousands of years before she even rises again. Each rebirth coincides with the dawning of a new era. Thus, her appearance, while regarded as a wondrous blessing, she is often a harbinger of something terrible on the horizon. Once, it is said, she sacrificed herself against a marsh of towering bale striders. ANIVIA knew she could not slay these colossal creatures, And so she plunged into the ice beneath their feet, shattering her own body in order to intube them. Recently, some claim ANIVIA has hatched from the egg once more, and she has appeared before the new leader of the Averosans, the War Mother Ashi. In her, perhaps, ANIVIA sees one who may be able to finally reunite the Freljord. What great threat has she come to face?